Ladies and gentlemen, I have a treat for you today. Now, there are a few things that happen around the world that we're not aware about. One of those things is education, and we're talking high level education. Do you ever wonder how corporations start off small and then grow to billions of dollars? Well, it's because of a certain training that you're not going to ever have access to unless you have someone that sponsors you or unless you're on the corporate inside, which a lot of us may or may not be. Well, I want to give you some background about this secret type of training that can build and breed success, because a lot of us get stuck, and that training is called Six Sigma. Now, you may or may not have heard of it if you are in a corporate job or if you are in any type of field that requires you to manage quality and efficiency, then this is something that extremely helps the purpose of advancing efficiency in corporation and, again, securing the bottom line. And that is called the Six Sigma, as stated. Now, myself, here's my story. When I was in college, I took a class called Total Quality Management. And then I was actually introduced to a Six Sigma beginners class where I acquired a green belt. At my job, they were looking to have an analyst that could help with efficiency. I worked for Philip Morris, the largest producer of cigarettes at the time in the entire world. They were having an efficiency problem. And to bring in an analyst with that type of experience would cost them way more than what they're willing to pay. So they looked inside the company and they saw that I had some experience with Six Sigma. They told me if I went and got my black belt in Six Sigma, I would get a 30% increase in my salary a year. 30%. Went and got it, got the 30% increase, and now I was a consultant. And literally, through my research and through what I learned, I was able to help the company increase efficiency almost by 30 to 40%, meaning that they were losing less wasted time, less wasted energy, and getting more production. So again, the whole goal of this is efficiency. Efficiency is, again, to be able to put in minimal effort and get maximum results. Now, who I have with me today is someone that is extremely rare in this world. If you know anything about Six Sigma, you would know that you have your black belts, but then this is an executive master black belt. There are only a handful of people breathing that are at this status. And this young lady is attached and was part of the development of the entire concept of Six Sigma, which is used by billion-dollar corporations. That's something that the common person doesn't get. That separates the rich from the poor, just that gap. That's just what separates it. So I'm going to have her talk a little bit about her experiences, and then we're going to show you why we're even talking about this. We're going to show you how, for the first time in human history, that you don't have to be part of some executive company to get access to this information. All you have to do is follow the instructions after this interview. So, Ms. Sandra, thank you so much for joining us for the interview. I love having extremely rare individuals on this earth to interview, and you are one of those individuals. Can you please tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. Thank you, Melvin, for that wonderful introduction. As Melvin said, I'm Sandra Harry, and I was a former executive. I was one of the executives at a big company where we were struggling to save money. I was in finance, loved it. Then I was introduced to a fellow named Dr. Michael Harry, who was the co-creator of Six Sigma. Actually, I was married to him. He was my husband. And so I stepped into the world of Six Sigma and learned how it could save companies billions of dollars all over the world, and just became entrenched in that. But the beautiful thing that I learned from Michael, beyond Six Sigma is used for corporations, right? It's the algorithm that made it so powerful that we use, right? We took data and manipulated it with statistics and produced all these savings. But what if we could do that for the individual person? And that's what Michael wanted to do. Could we take that powerful algorithm and take it down so that you could use it in your life, just like big corporations corporations. So that's what Michael set out to do. And I was blessed to be able to stand beside him and help him develop it and be involved in it. And unfortunately, Michael left this world about 5.5 years ago, and asked me to carry on his legacy and please get what we call the great discovery to the world. So that's what we've been working on, and that's what we're here launching today and talking about.
Hold on, you mean to tell me that, all right, if I'm a person who's just getting started in business, right? I have no experience, I have no resources, and I could never even fathom or dream of getting access to such a algorithm, Six Sigma. So now it's available for the smaller entrepreneurs, individuals who don't have millions of dollars, but just have a passion and a dream. And so now they can unlock this information as well. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what we're saying. Basically, it is a way of thinking. We take you down the proven path, right, in the great discovery, and it changes the way you think. You will be able to think like these big corporations do now that save all these billions of dollars, and you're going to be able to do that for yourself. You can make massive improvements. You have the potential to exponentially increase your odds of success.
Wow. And I'm going to piggyback off this. So I have been cheating in the network marketing area. The reason why I have been so successful, I could say it's this, I could say it's that, but it's because of the training that I received in my Six Sigma. So I know how to judge efficiency and I know how to scale my business. So that's why I can do 30 or 40 businesses at the same time and have them all be efficient, because I've taken that base knowledge, and most people don't have that. I couldn't teach that if I tried. And so this is why the great discovery is here. So it seems like now you guys can learn exactly what I learned minus the cost. So again, the cost I paid, it probably had to have been tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, at least bare minimum, tens of thousands of dollars to learn that. People don't have $10,000. And it's impossible to ask someone to have come up with 10 grand. And it's worth it because you're going to make money, you're going to be efficient. But 10 grand, we know the average entrepreneur just doesn't have that. And so I want to segue into the co-founder, Mr. Tim Taylor here. And Tim, honestly, what really kind of spurred this idea? I know your wife talked about it, but again, you mentioned to me that we can even start our children and give them an advantage that they would never have in being able to acquire this information. So if you would please, you and your wife, talk about how we can get people started with this a little early and some of the advantages that the Great Discovery offers, not only just to entrepreneurs, but to little baby entrepreneurs, to little Timmy that's sitting there with the pacifier. How can little Timmy not become a person or statistic that just has a dream and is ridiculed in school? You can't do that. So please talk about that.
Yeah, thanks, Melvin. I appreciate you having us on here today. You know, the power of Six Sigma is proven. It's not maybe it works. If you're a big business in the world today, Fortune 100, Fortune 500, you're using Six Sigma, you're not there. It is just it's the gold standard for performance in business. But at the underlying aspect of it, the underlying part is the algorithm. It's the base. If you take out the data, take out the analysis, take out all the things that you got to be a rocket scientist to be able to conquer, you're left with the underlying logic, the way of thinking, the proven path that Sandra was talking about. The beauty of this, though, is it can be used for anyone. When we say anyone, I mean 5 years old. We've got it down to a 5-year-old. We've got a TGD kids, grades 5 through kindergarten through 3rd grade. Then we've got learning to think, adolescents through teens. It's been accepted in many different schools as it's coming out, and the Great Discovery for everyone else. Think about this. This is something that can help everyone worldwide. There's no borders, there's no boundaries, there's no limits. And that is basically our moniker. It's you without limits. Imagine being able to conquer and accomplish anything that you set your mind to. You know, when we were young, right? We all had dreams. We had a great idea. We went and told somebody, said, "Oh, you can't do that. What are you talking about? You can't, that's not you. No, stop. That's dumb." And we throw it away. And we use the analogy sometimes, if you take a bunch of moths and you put them in a jar and put the lid on it, they're gonna bounce off the roof for a while. After about 5 minutes, they're going to settle down to the bottom. They're going to realize they can't get through that roof. You can take the top off and you can barely shake them out of that jar, because even though they can clearly go up, they've been conditioned to believe that they're stuck there. So with the great discovery, think about it as from a children's perspective. Is with kids, they teach us reading, writing, arithmetic. We learn as kids in their most formative years are learning most of their input from TikTok, social media, and video games. I'm not saying those are all bad, but I'm saying that's when your sole source of input is from other kids doing gags and fun things. You're getting influence from other people that are getting influence from nobody that knows what they're doing. As a result, it's scary going forward. I don't know a single person that doesn't want to have their kids accomplish more than we did, right? Your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, all of us want our children to live a better life. We want them to excel. We want them to succeed. They deserve to succeed. And so that's what the Great Discovery is all about for kids through adults. And we're kicking it off in a global campaign that's coming up worldwide.
Wow. So, and I want to bring up a good point here. If you're watching this today, a lot of people say, man, I wonder how Jeff Bezos is successful. I wonder how Elon Musk. Well, I'll ask you this question. They're successful is because of what they know. If you were to strip Jeff Bezos down and take all his money away, I'm confident he would be a billionaire in 12 months. If you did the same with Elon Musk, billionaire in 12 months. The reason why is because they have the knowledge. The reason why we can't get ahead is because we don't have the knowledge. My question to you is, if someone stripped away everything you had, how much valuable knowledge do you have in your head to get it back? And for me, that's a great discovery, because at any point in time, as you see from COVID, things can be lost like that. We've all lost in COVID. Those people who have lost some businesses will never open again. You know why? Lack of the knowledge. This is a great discovery. If we might have another pandemic, Tim, we never know. Something could happen, but the knowledge stays with you. And this is why I'm really excited about what you just shared. So go into a little detail and let's tell people exactly, what type of things they can expect from the Great Discovery.
That's a good point. The Great Discovery is a simple course. We set it so it's affordable by anyone. Anyone can do this, and we'll make sure you can do it. It's as simple as that. It's basically 14 short sessions delivered online, but it's not just you on a computer. It's interactive. You see, having the knowledge is great, but having the connections and communications and linked to a network of people that can make it happen for you, that's the power of it. So the Great Discovery, as you're going through this, typically takes about 1 to 2 hours per week. You can complete the course in 2 to 3 months. You can do it much faster if you really set your mind to it and push through it. You'll end up with an accredited certification that, just like a belt certification with Six Sigma, but it's the Great Discovery. You can use it in life, but most importantly, you're going to find your whole perception on life changes. You're going to be like, most of us that have grown up as serial entrepreneurs, something happened where we're going outside of the box, and you're going to start thinking outside of the box. Now, but life without limits, you without limits, is also income without limits. Besides having that knowledge, it's having those connections. In a peer-to-peer network, the way that we're doing it is you can be an affiliate. Besides just a learner is absolutely pivotal. It's step one. But being an affiliate, you can refer other people. And this company pays 70 cents on every dollar that goes out to people like you and me and everyone else that's on and watching this right now, to simply refer other people. Why do we do that? Because we want to get the word out. This world is in trouble, team. We got to get the word out. And you can't just sit and watch TV and play video games all the time. It's fun, it's great, it's entertaining, but at the end of the day, we can't sit and point fingers and say, this sucks. We got to do something. And by spreading knowledge and spreading wisdom and help to people is what's going to make it happen. And by rewarding you to do it, that's even more. We also have a coaching program. Those that have gone through, that are adept, and like to really help other people to coach and assist, we'll pay $100 an hour to sit home and coach. How's that? Work it right from your home computer to be able to help other people. So that's where we're going. The launch is coming up March 3rd and 4th in Orlando, Florida, and we're having a global simulcast. This will be open in 17 countries on day one. It's going to be cool.
Wow. So let me just break this down. So we got to unpack this for the viewers here. So a lot of people say, you know what, man, I got this idea I think would work. And so what happens is you say, okay, how do I get my clients? Well, they go out on YouTube and it takes 10, 15 years to grow a following. You don't have a TikTok. It takes 10, 15 years to get noticed. You go on Instagram, your Facebook, and you're not getting the clients. So the advantage that I see here for anyone that has a passion and you know that you can teach it is when they become an affiliate, they can get this course, they can learn how to perfect and turn their passion to a profession. But also, this is a platform to where, are you saying that people can actually buy their course and we would have a network of people, probably hundreds, maybe thousands, or maybe tens of thousands of people, that we would have a platform to connect them with the type of education we want to deliver versus taking 10 or 15 years on YouTube?
That's exactly right. You know, here's what happens. When you go through the Great Discovery, Sandra can unlock this a little bit more when it comes to kids, but when you go through the Great Discovery, it's like a door is going to open. You're going to be able to know, not think, but know you can accomplish virtually anything that you set your mind to. The dreams that you tossed away, you're going to pick back up and start running with them. You're going to learn what your intrinsic core values, not somebody else's that look cool, but what you're wired to do. And when you do that, the most important thing is then we equip you with the skills. After you complete the Great Discovery course, you get certified in that. We've got a series of what we call pathways. So if you wanted to get one into managing money or marketing on the internet or being an influencer or in developing games or whatever that passion is, that dream that you have, we'll give you the additional knowledge that you can go through on online, the same platform, to learn from experts on that material that you need to learn as well. And as you're steering other people in there, you're getting paid. You're not just out there spending money, you're making money while you're learning. You're earning while you learn.
Wow, that's a big difference. And Sandra, yeah, definitely comment a little bit on the inner working on this as well, because I know people at this point, they're excited, like, oh my gosh, I finally got a platform that can really just focus on me and my dreams, and I can earn a little bit of money just by referring people to this event too. So earning while you're learning. So I want to hear Sandra's insight on, just kind of some of the, not give away too much, because you're going to have to see the rest coming up at this event that you must make. And again, if you're on our page here, there's a registration button below that you can actually register for this event and secure your spot. It will be packed. So, I would advise you to definitely get there early, because we have a thing called capacity and everyone has something they want to learn. So let's get back to Mrs. Sandra Harry and have her kind of go over some of the inner workings of this without giving away too much, because we know they're going to see a lot at the event.
Well, I want to start with following up on the coaching that Tim touched on. One of the most powerful ways that we have found to learn and to teach people is what we call a blended model. And my late husband has been teaching Six Sigma courses via the blended model for years, and it is such a great way to learn. So that's what we've adopted. You watch your videos on your own time at home. We follow up with coaching sessions to keep you moving down that proven path. But I want to give you a little glimpse and kind of expand on what Tim said about core values. So we are all born with our own core values, our intrinsic core values. They stay with us our whole lives, and they may shift a little bit. And something Tim said is key. We help you unlock your core values, not some that you think are cool that aren't yours. And when you can start to live your core values, you have the freedom of choice to live those core values every day of your life. Life is so much better. If you're doing a job that is not in alignment with your core values, or whatever you're doing is not in alignment with those, you're just not going to be happy. We're stressed, we're overweight, we're unhealthy. Because of that stress, we can get you in alignment with your core values. Life becomes so much better. So that's just a little glimpse of what the proven path can do. That's where we start. There's so many other things there. We talk about milestones, forces. What are things that hold us back and drive us forward? So I don't want to get in too deep to it, But that's kind of the highlights, guys. But the biggest thing, you can get you into with those intrinsic core values, and you can start to live those out every day. I live my core values every day. I have the freedom of choice to do that. And life is beautiful, it's peaceful, and it's productive, and it's successful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I think right now people are, they have a pathway. I'm glad you guys introduced this. There's nothing like this anywhere on the internet, not to this degree, not to this detail, and not to the way that, number one, you can get certified. You heard him talk about certifications. So what we want to do now is, number one, we want to thank the founders and co-founders of The Great Discovery, Mrs. Sandra and Tim, for coming out and just giving us some insight. And what we want you to do now, if you've seen this, if anything that you heard resonate with you, if you're sitting at home and you're stuck in a job and God didn't make you for that job, God made you do something else. If you are a cook and you're at a job just being an administrative assistant, you should be a cook. You should be sharing that with the world. The Great Discovery can help you break free from the mundane, low-paying torture you're putting yourself through and live your life the way it's meant to be lived. You have a purpose. I believe the Great Discovery can help you unlock it. So what I want you guys to do now is, hey, you've seen what you need to see. There's a button below. There's a time below. Register. Attend this event. This could be the breakthrough that you've always been waiting for, but it won't happen because, again, if you do nothing, you get nothing. So take a chance. As a matter of fact, it's not a chance. Let chance find you and now have your chance to become part of the Great Discovery. We'll see you at the event. Register now.